Welcome to the Rise Up Show. This is episode 119, and today's episode, I'm proud to host a content creator, a creative entrepreneur, and a brand builder who started as a website designer, and her whole life changed when she ditched the one-on-one and started focusing on building her brand and building her community by sharing her own experience and stories as a young digital marketer. So please welcome Melanie. Hey, Melanie, how are you today?
Hey, Eden. Hi, everybody from the Rise Up community. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me on your show, man.
Glad that you're here with us. And so, Melanie, tell us the short version on who you are.
Well, I'm Melanie Stardust Harrington, and I come from Boston, Massachusetts. I'm a bit of a space cadet, but I'm also a creative entrepreneur, and I build brands online, and I connect with artists and all kinds of people to do all the things that we can do in the 21st century, which is realize our dreams and whatnot. I love all things space. I'm a website designer. I've been doing that for a while now. I've got something cool to share with you guys later as well that I think I only just thought of because I just thought of it, and that's kind of how my brain works. But
Nice.
so like I create websites actually from my phone. I've been using this new thing called Insutanto, and I kind of wanted to like focus on that for this little interview, and I'm going to be sharing a lot about like how I got involved in it and how it's helped me go from freelancing, like you said earlier, to expanding my reach online, helping more people, and sharing more of my information and experiences.
So how did you start your business?
Merely Stardust was actually an inspirational blog in 2013, but I didn't keep up with it, and it soon became a place where my services were hosted. I kind of learned a bunch of different things in the marketing world through trying to show other people my art, which was music, which was design, graphic design, and stuff like that. So in the last year, my website design business kind of changed, and I kind of decided to step back from like freelancing and working with people one-on-one to do more, be more of an influencer and sharing more of like my resources and whatnot to help other people get to where they want to be too. So Stardust was Stardust. The theme Stardust comes from my love of space and astronomy. I studied it in school. I kind of wanted to be like a hardcore quantum physicist, scientist, or something like that. But I didn't quite get too good at math enough because cosmology is mostly math.
That's okay. Most of us, I myself, not good at math.
I'm good at math now when it comes in PayPal monies.
Yeah, when it comes to that.
Yeah, absolutely. But so things kind of changed. Stardust, my services, my website design knowledge comes from creating my own blogs in the beginning when I was in my teens, and starting my own websites and coming up with brands and businesses that weren't there. And I'm like a waterfall of just endless ideas that it's just always pouring out of me. So
Nice.
yeah, so Stardust started from a lot of things, and I'm still trying to bring it all together today. It's like the World Wide Web. I'm branching out in so many different directions. I have Stardust isn't my only brand either. Like I have a clothing line company. I come up with different names for brands all the time. Like I just came up with one the other day called Tropixel, which is like tropical pixels put together. And I was like, oh, that's genius, So like
Nice.
I'm constantly always coming up with stuff like that for businesses and products and ideas. And I do it for other people too. And I find myself to be a great resource for that.
That's great that you're doing your art because and follow your passion, because a lot of people don't really follow their passion. They say, I don't know if I can succeed in that area, if it's art or if it's speaking or being a mentor or whatever it is that they dream of and they have their passion. Sometimes they say, oh, there's too much of it, or it can't be done, or I don't know if I can do that in art. And mostly in art, people say I can succeed in art, in which they can. Example, you, exhibit A. So
Yeah, exactly.
just show if you have your deepest passion and meaning, you can do everything. So why did you move into that area?
Um, what area? Like, I've
From
just
the
always,
astronomy, you went to art. You want to design. You want to do a clothing line. Also connects to art. Everything to art. Why did you move there?
I just am a creator of all things. I believe like we all create our own realities. I wanted to be in movies as well, and I
Hmm.
found that I would just kind of be a bit of a pawn in the Hollywood industry instead of
Hmm.
controlling my image, which is very important to me. That's
Mhm.
what branding is all about, being
Hmm.
total in control of your image and your message and whatnot.
Mhm.
So like going from astronomy to art is like saying that I've combined the two. I've
Mhm.
taken my creativity and added a theme to it. And I don't know, I didn't go from one to the other. I kind of just like blended them together to, make this idea become real to other people as well. I kind of gave it like a face.
Hmm. Nice. So you
Yeah,
combine the two passions that you have and you build your brand upon it.
exactly.
That's amazing. A lot of people don't really understand. For example, when we used to love something as a child, doesn't mean we can not do it today as a grown up in a different kind of way. Um, for example, I like very much all that part of science, really searching and discovering new things and help the humanity, because if in science, if you help to discover some research, you help a lot of people with that. So when I tapped into that, I understand what exactly was there. It was the discovery of new things. It was the helping people, and when I combine those two in other fields, that helped me to develop in all other way, exactly like you did. You combined the astronomy with the art, and you became with that brand.
Yeah.
And that's what you need to do. Go back and see what you love, people. See what you loved when you were a child. Take it from there and combine it to today.
Oh, that's
So,
so
hmm?
beautiful. That's exactly what I've done. I have like many different interests that I've combined into my, it can be a little confusing, but like I did study architecture too, and
Hmm.
I found that that knowledge has helped me build websites better and in a
Yeah.
way. But it was two totally different skill sets. Like building a website is nothing like building a house. Building a house
Yeah.
because you find ways to relate it, the foundation, the framework of a website,
Hmm.
the design of a website, like what color am I going to paint the walls and whatnot.
Hmm.
It's like I find that like a lot of my combined knowledge is from a bunch of different areas and industries that I wanted to be in over time, because my dreams of the future kept changing. The more the internet
Nice.
became a part of our lives, and that we're also embedded in social media now, is like, it's changed over time for sure, because I wanted to be a race car driver when I was like 7. Now I don't really feel that way. I don't want to go that fast. I'm a little
Mhm.
scared to crash, but now I feel like I want to go like supernova online and want to help other people, get to the finish line on their projects. So,
Nice. So you
yeah.
went with the racer in helping people online and building their brand online. That's
Basically.
that's awesome. That's how you do it, people. combine what you love, see what you loved when you were a child, and combine it to today. Because, like you said, when you learn, not archaeologically, when you learn, what
Oh,
was that?
architecture.
Architecture. When you
Yeah.
learn architecture, it helped you with your websites to
Mhm.
design it, because now you know the colors, how to blend it. And true that it's not same, but same, new name.
Yeah, so like I studied architecture because I wanted to do I did want to build houses, but I wanted to build them out of hemp. Concrete was brand new. I was like, I'm gonna start a whole brand around this, and that was actually my first blog. It was called Hemp Strong, and it was about the 25,000 different uses of the hemp and cannabis plant. And I was like, I'm gonna talk to 25,000 different business owners, and I'm going to write this huge list. I think I got to like 3, and I was like, yeah, this isn't legalized totally yet, so I kind of backed off that since then.
Makes
It's been
sense.
a while, but I have like, I have so many Facebook pages that I'm like, I just every day, like, it just comes out of me like crazy. It's always pouring out of me, these ideas. But I wish I could just hand them off to other people for them to maintain, because they're really cool brand ideas. Like, I have a fitness blog called Meta Fitness, which was like meditation and fitness, or I'd like to call fitness minimalism. I don't really work out. Like, I get tired going up the stairs. I may be young, but I'm lazy. Like, this is where I'm at. I'm not, I don't have a standing desk or anything, but I wanted to, I have all these brands and stuff that, they could easily be panned off to people. And I was like, what should I do with this? I should like build them, or should I like, get it like an audience base and then sell it and then like keep royalties and whatnot. So I've just been like building brands. It's just what I do now. It's all I do, and it's all I want to do. I build brands for myself, and I build brands for other people, and I build brands for nobody sometimes.
That's awesome. You started with Facebook pages, you went all around, and now you focused on what you are doing, and that's building brands for other people and help them with their brands. So how do you keep momentum in being the best version of yourself?
Well, I think the short answer to that is I don't. I think you can tell from the other day, Monday when we talked, I kind of I let myself feel what I need to feel. I'm not always peppy like this 100% of the
Mm-hmm.
time. I don't always feel like I'm the best version of myself. And I think I'm just very self-aware about it, and I'm honest about it, and I don't like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't mull over it too much, but keeping momentum is a daily struggle. It's like that quote, like, motivation is a daily thing, just like showering. You got to keep up with it to keep going. And some days I don't motivate myself, and some days I do lag behind, and I feel like I deserve that because of all the stuff that I actually do in a single
Mm-hmm.
day. It can be really overwhelming. So I don't want to burn out. I'm crazy about self-care more than ever now, actually. I sometimes spend days not looking at social media or using my phone at all.
Mm-hmm.
I call them like those digital detox days. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm like the average millennial out there who's always on her phone. I'm actually really good about it. I don't have notifications bothering me all day. I shut things off. I block things. I keep my feed super clean, and I think that's how I keep myself being the best version of myself, is by being, honest about, where I'm at every day.
That's great that you're honest, and I love that authenticity with you, because that's true. We are not always the best version of ourselves. Sometimes we need that place to go back for a second, reflect, and take the next step. Sometimes, like you said, disconnect from that internet world for a day or couple hours. Just keep your head clean for a moment and really understand where you need to go. That's I think it looks like here that's how you pull up more ideas when you get that shoved off.
Oh, absolutely. You got to disconnect to reconnect.
Love
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I'm
What
all
is uh,
about.
what is the biggest struggle you experience and how did you overcome it?
My biggest struggle is probably being your own boss is super glamorized now, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't have anybody telling me what to do every day. I have my Google Calendar, and I ignore that half the time. So I think my struggle is being accountable. I try to make public promises to keep myself accountable. I try to tell people, like, yes, I'm going to write this blog post today. You better come back later and see it and make sure that I actually wrote it. Yes, I'm going to put this book out. I'm going to make this video. And even if nobody responds to that, it's still like, it's like, you know, speaking out to the universe, like, yes, I'm going to do this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like my struggle is keeping myself accountable in a way where I don't need to depend on others to finish my stuff. I just need to finish it. And
And when you put post out there, you kind of seeing yourself as accountability because you committed.
yes, exactly. Yeah.
Just taking a statement, kind of.
A lot of entrepreneurs struggle with that because they work from
Mm-hmm.
home. They just like they wear
Yeah.
PJs all day. They you know, they end up just, you know, seeing their phones as sources of entertainment instead of a
Yeah.
tool to, you know, grow your business and connect
Exactly.
with others and create a community around your interests. And I think that that's what they struggle with is like, you know, it can get like lonely and you tend to kind of replace that with
Mm-hmm.
whatever Netflix binges or whatnot.
Yeah. You know, I
So
love what you just
yeah.
said because, and I think people, you need to do it as Melanie said, keep yourself accountable, but not just telling to yourself, telling to your people. Put it as a post in your Facebook page, or it doesn't matter where, just put it online, or say to your best friend or to your family, commit to it. Or take accountability body or a mentor that you will have accountable for yourself. Because it's not just saying to yourself, okay, tomorrow I will start with dieting, tomorrow I will start on posting, and you don't do it every day. Because like you said, being the boss for yourself, it's sometimes very challenging. And when you say, you put out a message out there, you commit to yourself. Loved it. So can you share with us what is the biggest struggle your audience experience?
um I think they might struggle with ideas. I find that,
Ideas.
yeah, I think they might not believe in the ideas or believe in themselves. I tend to believe in ideas more than I believe in people because sometimes people have the ideas, but they don't have the like ambition to
Hmm.
finish it and bring it to the world. But I think that maybe they struggle not coming up with a good enough idea or maybe something that somebody's already done. I hear a lot of that too.
Yeah.
Somebody already is making websites. Like there are thousands of people making websites, but nobody makes what Stardust does, you know. Nobody gets the kind of person making the website like me. Like I think
Yeah.
I'm awesome to work with because I'm not just working on people's websites. I'm working on like their core interests, their message, their whole brand overall, and not just, you know, like a functioning email list builder. It's like
Mhm.
it's the idea, it's the core concept that I'm working with, and I'm trying to make it real and add all sorts of income sources and whatnot to it. Like I'm
Mhm.
creating new revenue streams for people, and they tend to see just like the little tiny piece of it, you know, and I'm like, little tiny piece. And I see like this huge whole galaxy, like just from one idea. And I think maybe that does overwhelm people too, is that they get overwhelmed by their ideas, and
Hmm.
they don't tackle it, or they can't break it down enough to get started in the first place. Like, yes, I'm writing a book, but I have to write out the table of contents to know what's going in that
Hmm.
book first.
Yeah.
Or like, yes, I got to build a website, but I got to figure out what the theme of it is. So I got to create a mood board too, and get
Hmm.
the fonts and the colors and the everything right, like have photography set up and everything. Like, it's not just the website, it's like everything that
Yeah.
goes into
It actually makes a lot of sense because a lot of people, like you said, get overwhelmed with their ideas. So a good trick to it is to write down your ideas, and then not just write it down, but also act upon it. Like you said, take it parts. Take it parts, like a theme. What is your theme? If you write a book, start with what is your first episode. Start to write each day one paragraph, just one paragraph, and then it will come as a habit like that. So, Melanie, can you share with us who inspired you to get into that?
who's inspired me to get into what I'm doing now.
Yeah, or
Oh,
on a daily basis. Hmm.
oh, lots of people, so many people, but I would say probably the first people were maybe Marie Forleo, because I loved her YouTube
Mm.
channel. I loved her show, and I was like, I need that. So much. She is so
Yeah,
funny
she's good.
and she's really smart. I was always like, oh, I love her graphics and all the transitions and stuff. Like, I'm not just
Hmm.
watching the video and watching like it for the content. I'm watching how it's all delivered and whatnot. So
Hmm.
Gary Vaynerchuk, he's also got amazing Instagram deliverability. So I started
Yeah.
like, understanding his content distribution methods and whatnot, and enjoyed his shows. But after a while, I was like, okay, I can't watch any more Gary Vee because he's telling you literally to stop watching his show. So I was like, okay, I'll stop.
Yeah, Gary Vee is freaking awesome.
Yeah, he's great, but he's like, I don't need you guys watching. I need you guys to go do what I'm telling you to
Hmm.
do, and that's
Exactly.
what
The
I've done. He's
connection.
made me do. He's helped me realize that, like, he's actually he's so great at what he does. He's like, his free stuff has helped me boost my self-esteem as
Hmm.
a digital entrepreneur who is making a path of her own. Like, I did
Hmm.
not really think it was possible until like I started following these people online. I would say Kimra Luna. I don't know if you know who that is, but
Hmm.
she's like a personal brand strategist as well. She's
Okay.
super kooky and really cool, and she's like. She was like she had like blue hair when she first came out, and it was like, oh my god. And then I remember there was like, she posted one time saying that someone didn't want her to speak at her event because of her blue hair, and it was just like like, her and her community, they were all like, fuck her. And I just thought that
Exactly.
was so awesome. She created this whole community called the Freedom Hackers, and she has this course out called Be True Brand You. And a lot of her free content too has helped me realize that I can definitely do what I want to do as well. And I'm not coming from such a destitute situation as
Yeah.
these people are. Like, Gary Vee was an immigrant. Kimberly Luna was, I think she was on welfare. People like, who is that? Is it Gabrielle Bernstein who wrote, Gabby Bernstein who wrote, what is it? Spirit Junkie. And
Hmm.
yeah, so she overcame like alcoholism and, like fear of missing out on parties and whatnot. And she created solutions for herself that she shares with so many others on stage and in her books. And i I mean, I've had some experiences as well. I think my past self inspires me because I've gone through a lot as well, and every day I'm like, oh my god, how did I get here? And it's like, yeah, so I think those were like 4 or 5 people that inspired me, and people I talk to online, people I follow every day who just are really authentic in their journey, and we're all going along for the ride. It's just fun.
That's how you succeed. Not just sing, but also acting, and not just acting, but being truthful. Share your own story. Be part of your life. Let your crowd, your audience be part of your life, and then you can grow so much big. And I'm sure you know it because you're building your own brand and others' brand, and that's part of it.
Yeah.
So if we're getting into the end of the interview, and I want to ask if you can go back in time, what advice will you give to your younger self?
Um, I would let myself know. I would. It's so hard to say that because like I know I've struggled. I know I've had like, self-esteem issues, but I mean, that's really it. I wouldn't, because I've had good mentors and whatnot. I couldn't really go back and change. Maybe I could give some
Mhm.
advice to my Monday self who you were talking better than like years ago. I would probably be like, you know, put your emotions aside and
Mhm.
remind yourself of the big picture that we're working
Yeah.
towards here. Even if things are not working or there's sound problems or whatnot, that they are going to end up working out because obviously this interview has gone a lot better than the one that we had on Monday. And I,
Yeah.
I'm grateful for that though too because I did fix my microphone and we still got to do this anyway, and I'm in a better mood
Yeah.
today. So
Yeah.
just
So
worked out.
yeah, because when we solve problems and we got in tackled in some problem and then we solve it, we get to a better place. We get to the best version of ourselves, if you will. Just so you know, people, we tried to do that interview one, and a lot of technical issues popped up. So we done that again. That's what she's talking about right now. That's what Melanie talks about. And we solved that problem. So always try to find new solutions, even if something didn't work, see what didn't work, and find a solution to that and get to a better version of yourself. So, Melanie, if you had one chance to deliver the one message that will stay written in history, what will it be?
I would say believe in the unseen universe. That's what I believe.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Stardust is my brand. Stardust is something from nothing. And my logo represents that. The whole brand represents that. I believe in ideas, and that's that's what I'd like people to believe in too, is to
Nice.
manifest with much more ease by um I don't know. I don't
Nice.
know. Go supernova,
Yeah,
die empty, imperfect action is better than no action. Stuff like that. That's probably
exactly.
what I'd want the future to know.
And that's also true. You know, when you believe in, if it's the universe, if it's God, or even if it's yourself, people, it doesn't matter. Like Melanie said, just believe. Believe in something, believe that you can, and don't talk bad to yourself like I can't, because who says it can't and who says it can are both usually right. So just fucking do it.
I love that quote. I
Yeah.
really do. I think I agree with that so much because it's just like what happened on Monday. Like I was in a bad mood and my mindset was like down here compared to up here today. And
Yeah.
like, of course, there had to be issues with my computer. Of course, it was like, oh, just the cherry on top of my ice cream,
Yeah.
So
And bam, you solved that.
yes, and I did. And
Melanie, how can people know more about you?
they can send me a message on Instagram because that's where I'm most active, or they can follow me
Mm-hmm.
at stardust.tv. My DMs are
Mm-hmm.
always open. I'm always willing to mastermind with people. I know I always say, like, don't work for free and stuff, but I do all the time, constantly. I cannot help it. I'm just like such a sucker for sob stories and whatnot. Kind of get your hands in everything. So, if you struggle with ideas or content creation, or you need resources for building your website, or
Mm-hmm.
building out things for your marketing campaigns and whatnot, I just have found so many different solutions for myself, and I love to help others do the same and figure out how
No.
to run their own brands online too, the way they want
Mm-hmm.
to. Because I'm not the coach who says, copy my email swipe copies or whatever. I'm like, do you, just absolutely do you, and you'll feel so much more aligned, and you will get more done and feel better about it. And so yeah, I'm all over the World Wide Web. I am a different person on every platform. I am weird on Snapchat. I am really inspiring on Instagram. On Facebook, I'm kind of more about family and whatnot. On
Mm-hmm.
LinkedIn, I'm all about business. I am super professional on there.
You adapt to every platform. That's awesome.
Absolutely, and we all should be doing that because it's a
Yeah.
different, way to share ideas. Every platform
It's new
requires you.
audience, different audience. Yeah.
Exactly. So
Love it, Melanie. So everyone, join Melanie. I will put description below. In the description below, I will put links, and join her on Facebook, on Snapchat, on Instagram, everywhere. Follow there, because you can get every piece you can gather and just build a whole picture. So just contact with Melanie. I will put a lot of links down below. And thank you for being here, Melanie. It was a pleasure to host you.
thank you, Eden, and thank you everybody in the Rise Up community. I hope you all have a great 2019. So yeah, go supernova, everybody. Peace and beauty.
Go supernova. And if you like this video, give us a thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe to get more tools to your community as well. So just click the link below so to join our group, the Rise Up community, and to Melanie. And have an amazing and productive week. And thank you for listening, and thank you for being here, Melanie. I will see you tomorrow, people. Melanie, have a great week.
Thanks, man. You too.